Host muted everyone. We're gonna try to mute us. Mute my audio. No, I don't want to mute everybody. Oh, it's finally kicking in. Closed captions working. Just want to make sure. Is anybody here joining? Hmm. I'll give you a very good guide on how to finagle Zoom. Share screen. Security, no. Share screen. Oh, copy invitation. I'm gonna go back to my YouTube real quick. Maybe that's the problem. I mean, not YouTube, sorry. Facebook. Facebook. Oh, oh. What happened? Ah. Share invite. Copy invite link. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, I cannot copy invite link. Hmm. There we go. Maybe that'll help. Maybe that's why. No, you don't connect with StreamYard. Oh, unless that's separate, but Zoom does not. I know Zoom can work like that. My friend says. Okay, so to get our faces up and together in the same box. Hmm. I'm sick of being the only participant here. I'm about ready to end this. I don't feel very well. One participant can share at a time. Multiple participants can share simultaneously. Maybe that's what I need to do. This is boring. I'm sick of this. I want friends in here to talk to. Not feeling the greatest. Anyways, I'm gonna call this a wrap. See what's going on with why my invite can't be accessed. Or at least my friend attempted to. And I don't know, like, I don't know why it's. Oh.
Recording in progress.
Whoa. What's happening? Oh, I see. I joined on my phone because if you see this, I thought maybe this is what is in progress. And then it says join this, which apparently is just a link to be on this as well. So that I could participate as two different people, I guess. But yeah, that was not fun. I'm not doing that again. That's just echoing me from one thing, and I just reclaimed myself as the host. So not understanding why I cannot get my friends to join. All I did was copy a link and sent it on my Facebook group, and then I sent it to my friends. So I don't know. I don't understand what's transpired. So, anyways, I'm gonna call it quits. I'm done doing this. I don't feel very well. I'm gonna go lie down. My head hurts. I feel nauseous. And enough of wasting you guys' time if you're not able to join. So oh wait. Do I have somebody else in here? Let me see who I get somebody on here. Hi. Do you have yourself muted? Can you unmute yourself? Down at the bottom, it should be down in the bottom corner, left. Let me look. Let me look and see what I can do. Speaker on my phone. I'm still getting the ins and outs of the Zoom, so bear with me. I think I go into oh, I found it. No. Allow participants unmute. Yes. All right. Are you able to do it now? I'm still muted. Still here, still muted. Oh, let me try it now. I have it says allow participants to unmute themselves. Let me see if I can do it. Allow to more waiting room. Why is it not letting me? Can you find it now? And see if you can do it again?
Okay.
I hear you.
Oh, there. So I have to do it.
I hear you. Yeah.
Now, hang on. Now I got to find my camera here. Okay, there.
How are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm okay. I was on here for a little while and I'm like, okay, maybe no one's joining. Maybe I might hop off, and I was about to until I saw you come on. I'm like, yes. Who wants to sit and talk to themselves?
Well, I know. I'm glad you did this. I really, really like this because I'm in Canada
Oh,
and you're in the US?
yes, I am.
Okay. Okay. And there's not many people here in Canada. Like, actually, I'm in Ontario.
I have
And
another person I'm talking to in Ontario.
oh, really?
Mhm.
And they have FND.
Yes, they do.
Wow. See, and that's the whole
Hold on a
thing.
second.
Sure.
Hold on 1 second. I have my friend, she hops on and this is connected to live on YouTube,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
Yep, yep,
I wanted
yep.
to make sure you were, she watches this, to make sure I'm doing okay technically and the video is okay and the streaming.
Oh,
So
okay,
she sends me texts. No,
okay.
not done. Okay, but I'm going to turn that down so I can just see what she sends me something.
Okay,
Anyways, yes, I just recently, someone reached out to me that's in the group and private messaged me, and then we actually just what I usually do if I want to talk to someone, because I don't have international calling,
okay.
I use the Facebook Messenger and
Mm-hmm.
I video chat with them if they're wanting to video chat. If not, just talk on the phone or talk on the video messenger. And
Okay,
did I get some good history on her? And we are going to stay in contact for sure. And she's just got a lot going on right now that eventually she'll be jumping in on the Zooms.
okay.
People are kind of waiting patiently for me. I'm hoping patiently for me to make
We
a
all have
schedule.
patience. We all have patience considering what we're dealing with, right?
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm wanting to, like I said, I've kind of got so much stuff going on right now that I can't make it scheduled yet until some of those things are in the past and out of my.
I got it.
But
You're
yes,
you're scrambled eggs right now.
precisely. But yes, I do have a friend I just recently met that lives in Ontario.
Okay,
I have one in Vancouver.
okay.
That's kind of far away from you, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's on the other side of Canada for me.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's on the west coast.
If I reach out to her, my friend in Ontario, I'll let her know that you're trying to, someone somewhat locally,
Mm-hmm.
closer.
Mm-hmm.
She also was a nurse too.
You know what? I've read many, many, many stories about people that have been in their field of teaching, nursing, all kinds of professions, athletes, and their life is just shut right down. Just
Sure has.
bang. Yeah. And, like they're trying to deal with how things are going and they're not understanding. Nobody's understanding. Nobody's answering their questions. And it's almost like, it's like you get picked. Okay, you're next,
Right.
out of the blue. Like
I was
nobody knows.
Well, exactly, because I was just saying as I was rambling to myself for a while before you joined me, that this is a non-discriminatory disorder,
Right,
totally,
right,
and it makes
right.
me kind of sad because I'd rather children not have to go through this. I'd
Yes.
rather take
Yep.
it on 5 times than
Yep.
a child have to deal with this because no child should
I
suffer-
agree.
no child should have to suffer through anything, but
No, no, I
but
totally agree.
it totally
It's a, it's a,
anybody and
it's a,
anything.
it's a scary, and I don't even want to call it a disease just because of the fact that, um, nobody really understands it. So I just call it, like a functional disability, because it has to do with the brain and the brain doesn't want to work sometimes.
Mhm.
So I just look at it like, okay, well, it's not a disease to me because a disease can be cured. Like some diseases can be cured. This has not even a close to any kind of information on how to even start to cure anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
My doctor
Yeah.
right now, every time I go to see her, she just rolls her eyes and looks at me as if to say, well, now what? Now what can I do for you? And I'm thinking to myself, I thought, okay, well, you may not understand what's going on with me, but that doesn't mean that you get to treat me like shit.
Exactly.
Like I'm a human being here and I have an issue. And you may not understand it. I don't understand it. I've had my issue for 38 years.
Oh, bless your heart. And look at you still going strong though. That's what I want people to see this. Yes, how frustrating 38 years is like, what a drag.
Yeah. And people have, or the doctors have looked at me and said, well, you've had a stroke. No, you haven't had a stroke. There's no sign of a stroke. I don't know what's wrong with you. And they're like this, they're scratching their heads. They're like, I don't know what's wrong with you. And that scared me because I'm thinking, you went to medical school. You should fix me. But you know what? There was no class on FND. And there still is no class really on FND.
No, there's not. But I'm gonna tell you something. Recently, um, I've been helping my niece in a psych class in college, and I did some reading on one of those chapters, and it blew my mind. And it probably I've had psych courses many times in the past. You know, things change, but we also change ourselves and can see things in a different perspective than when we first got the info because of our life experiences and whatnot. And I'm thinking this chapter, this one particular chapter talks about how neurons, multiple different types of neurons send messages, and how those messages can get twisted.
Yeah.
Which that 100% is happening to us, to our brain.
Yeah.
Those are so microscopic that they're unable to actually see the broken mechanism in those neurons.
Exactly. That's right. That's right. So when it comes down to getting an MRI or a CAT scan, there's nothing there.
I see nothing. Exactly.
Yeah. And I have had a EKG where they put the things on your head.
EEG. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. EEG, because I've had so many, I don't even know what they're called.
Right.
And I was having an episode during that. And I'm talking to the technician and I'm like, do you see anything on there? She goes, no. She goes, everything looks normal. You look fine. And I said, you've got to be kidding me.
I know.
And I was having an issue.
I hear you, because I spent an entire week on the neuro floor, glued to those things for a whole week. Boy, my hair was lovely afterwards.
Yeah, you get the beautiful hairdo, eh?
Oh boy, that was great. Oh my gosh, I feel like it took forever to get that glue out, but
I know.
I had the same circumstance happen for a whole week. I was having them one after another, and you're supposed to, if you feel them coming on or something, push the button to contact. So not only did someone come into the room, but you could also hear them talking into the room who were the technicians watching the strips.
Yeah.
Similar to a cardiac floor, but this was neuro floor. And
right.
Now there are some people with FND that have epilepsy where they can see and non-epileptic. So some of those seizures are both.
Right.
Now, for those that aren't, there is no medication that treats or that prevents them, but there are some that will help. Like for example, mine, I take Klonopin when I feel, so it's an as needed. It's not like a daily medication.
Really?
But it's as needed.
Okay.
I take those when I can sense or feel, when I'm able to sense or feel like an aura type.
Yeah.
Something's not right going on. I'm probably going to have a seizure. I'll take that then. Or as soon as I'm able to take it, even if it's in the midst or in between, because I can sometimes have multiple in a row.
Right.
So then I'll, quickly get that in there. What it helps me to do then is reduce the severity and reduce the duration
of the issue that's coming on.
Yeah.
Right. I understand that.
That's about.
So that helps you a lot. So right now I'm on this stuff here, which is called sertraline.
Oh, that is hold on. It's in there. I believe that's
it's like it helps with the neurons.
Antidepressant, anti-anxiety. So let me look it up.
So anyways, I've been on this now since, when was it? When did I start this? January? Yeah, I've been on this since the beginning of January. And she ended up putting me on, slowly getting me up to 100 milligrams. So I was taking up to 100 milligrams and I was getting tired. I was very fatigued. And I wasn't fatigued before.
Mm.
And so then I just went to go see her about a week ago, and she dropped me down to 75 milligrams. I feel better now on 75
Oh, that's
milligrams,
good.
but
Good.
it's helped me with my issues. I still have issues,
Mhm.
but it's helped me a lot.
Gotcha.
So
Okay. This is, I mean, that's what I thought. It's sertraline, however you say that. It's a medication used to manage and treat major depressive disorder, obsessive impulsive disorder, panic
Yep.
disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, and social
well,
anxiety.
I'm 62 years old, so that's out.
I've had a hysterectomy, so it does.
Oh, so you're out too.
Right. But I can't remember what the what that's the generic name. I'm trying to think of what
Oh,
are Zoloft.
with the real,
Zoloft. That's the name that we typically use. It's Zoloft.
okay.
So yeah, I was on Zoloft for years when I was married.
And did it
But I
help
really,
you?
well, the divorce helped better.
Listen, I've been married for 42 years. That's not happening.
Well, my situation, we were only
That
married.
was funny though. That was funny.
We were only married 6 years, but that helped better. But yes, it did. Well, I hear what you're saying, because I got my friend didn't even like me on that medication, because throughout my marriage, my depression just got worse and worse. Plus, I had children, so you know how it gets like after your children, that
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
postnatal depressive issues.
yeah,
They
yeah.
kept increasing my dosage too, and I got the same way you were. But not only that, but I felt like a zombie. I felt like I could go out to the highway and a Mack truck could hit me and I wouldn't even feel it. Like
Really. I don't think I got that far.
it
I
was
didn't
bad.
get that
But
far.
I think I was at 200 milligrams at the highest, and I cannot. No, we had to back way down. And of course,
Yeah.
after the divorce, I slowly weaned myself completely off. And I'm like, "Ah, who knew that was the problem in a nutshell?"
And so, you know what? And that's the whole thing, is that you got to kind of like, look at your life and see what's going on, see what's stressing. I went to one, three psychologists when they're trying to figure me out. And what happened was that the three psychologists were maybe in their mid-20s, and I'm sitting there analyzing them. And they're getting paid $200 a shot. I'm like, hang on a second here. Why am I analyzing your life and telling you what you should be doing instead of reverse?
Age,
So it's
generation,
not that I have I don't have issues. I don't have an issue with myself. It's my brain that's got the issue.
Mhm.
And it's not showing up on scans or anything like that. I'm stable. I'm sane. Every now and then I go Lulu because, people will piss me off because they're stupid. Like,
Amen.
yeah, like,
Very.
don't tell me that go take a pill and you'll be fine.
I know.
Like, seriously, that's not going to help me.
Right.
Find out what the hell is going on.
You
And
know, that reminds me, have you ever seen that movie Concussion?
no, no.
I love that movie for the sheer fact that and it's kind of sad in a way, because I don't know if you're familiar with the NFL football team in the United States, and how back, and I think it was in the 90s, how these concussions were occurring before the government said you've got to have more safety techniques with your helmets and whatnot. But these
I
concussions,
heard about that.
okay,
Yeah.
so the concussions were one after another these football players were having, and then they were developing these, more or less crazy episodes of irrational behaviors and irrational thinking and thought processes, and then some, taking their own lives and stuff. I'm not sure I could say those things on YouTube, but they were taking, drastic measures. And sad as it was, they too could not find in living while they were living, they could not find, the doctors could not find anything wrong with
That
them.
was making them act like that. Right. Right.
So this doctor pathologist came from Africa over to the US to live the American dream, whatnot, and practice medicine here. And he starts off I think it was in Pittsburgh, and he starts off in a very low funded, what do you call it? What's the word? Where you go when you go and they do
Study?
autopsies? Wherever they do the autopsies, like, can't, lack of word retrieval right now.
Okay. That's
Um,
fine. I don't know where they do autopsies. I have no idea. I'm not in the medical field.
Not in the funeral homes, but like the medical examiner. Medical examiner will.
In the morgue?
Yeah, like that. There you go. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
That's all I
It was
can
word
think of.
retrieval. I get that a lot. It drives me bonkers.
Okay.
But
Yeah, it's part of it. Part of it.
yeah,
Patience, Mr. Singh.
that's why I like being on something like this with multiple people, or other than just myself, because you guys will help where I can't, or vice versa.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I totally understand that. Yeah, totally.
So-
That's just common sense to me.
Right. And so anyways, this pathologist, he does a deep dive and spends his own money, his own personal money, to go above and beyond to get the pathology set up where he needed to be able to really investigate what was going on. And then he went
Wow.
out of his way to go dig up his medical history and speak to doctors that these NFL players were going to while they were alive. And he found it. He literally found the cell. He found the cell, and he got to name it because he found it. He named it CTE, concussive traumatic event or something.
Wow.
Now, this leads me to a thought process that I've been having for a while.
Okay.
If he was able to find that,
Right.
and as sad as it is, it's after the fact that it couldn't help those people, but
Right.
it can currently help people in
The
the future.
future. Right.
I'm
Right.
wondering if or when or has it ever happened that anybody with FND has donated their body to science so they are able to do the same type of thing.
Yeah.
Really take a good close look at every little part of the brain, the tiny itty bitty neurons, and that is like, I'm about ready to say, hey, do that with me, kids. Tell my children, I'm not married, so my kids, when I pass, give them their brain, maybe the whole body, I don't care, to science for a while.
Donate it.
Have your own little service, and if you really feel like you could put a time limit on how long they can look at you or whatever, or give me back when you're done, do what you need to do with my body or whatever. But at least it would be great
Education
for somebody to, and possibly future, then maybe then people living with this will no longer be treated so poorly because they know now. You know what I'm saying? That it would be that even though it may not be fixable, it may or may not.
But at least there would
There's
be
a
more
known-
education.
Right. And there will be a known physical evidential finding, even if you
Like there'll be
can't see it on a
something there.
scan. But yes, exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Something there. Yeah, I understand that. And I agree 1,000%, because there are so many, like FND is very, very, very common in the UK. Like super common in the UK. And my heritage, I'm pure Finn.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm a pure Finlander. I have nothing else in my blood. I've looked back and I got nothing else in my blood. So I'm thinking, okay, so that's European, right? So out in that part of the country there's a lot of FND over there.
I know.
And I'm thinking, is that where I got mine from? Is this hereditary? That's another question. Is this hereditary?
That my friend from Ontario, the other friend I'm talking about, she just told me that she has found studies and has been doing her research that there is a link there's a link to FND and ADD, FND and dyslexia, and a strong indication that it can be hereditary.
Really?
Which kind of saddens
Wow.
me because my older daughter has dyslexia. She claims she has ADD. My son has ADD, but he was born with a genetic disorder. He's got multiple brain tumors and
Oh,
multiple,
wow.
like he was born with a lot of, his genetic disorder is ongoing. He recently, now he's as an adult, it's developed tumors in his kidneys.
Oh my gosh,
But-
that's awful.
He's a man and he's stubborn and he doesn't take care of himself. And
I have a husband that does that.
very typical for men. But
I understand that completely.
no offense, men, but
Yeah.
but it's yes.
So
he-
how old is your son?
hold on. 25. He's going to be 28 in June. Is he?
Okay.
29 in June. Holy smokes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He's 28
Okay.
right now. My daughter is 25, and then I have a 10-year-old daughter. But the two older ones from my marriage that saved myself a lot of money and serotonin. But I got divorced, but
There you go.
their brother and sister, and then my youngest, their half sister. I have her with me on the most part. She
Okay.
visits Dad every other weekend and every other holiday. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I have
Well,
3 kiddos.
so there is a link.
That's what she says. I can't wait to get my hands on the actual research and really look at it myself, which she's going to help supply to me. But it's going to be stuff I'll post in the group. as
Okay.
well.
Okay. Okay.
Anytime I run across something I find valuable or well, my friend that I was talking about, she sent me that really interesting article about the music and the parts of the body,
Mm-hmm.
various types of music has effect on, and it's really interesting because that's, if you think about that, that's a mental process and that's an emotional
Yep.
process. So that's brain
Yeah.
too. And I just thought, wow, that's kind of interesting to.
It's funny you say that because when I have a hard time sleeping, I end up listening to Tibetan singing bowls.
Yeah,
That is very powerful.
yeah, and they're
Because-
soothing.
Oh, like I'm out, like I have to put a timer on my iPad so that it will shut off by itself because I'm gone. Like I wake up the next morning and my iPad's right there and I'm going, oh, okay, well that worked again. So and
Oh.
then I went for a sleep study and I found out I have sleep apnea.
Same here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you have sleep apnea. Do you have a CPAP?
Yes, I do.
Oh yeah, really?
No,
Interesting.
but currently I haven't been able to use it, so therefore I'm tired a lot because somehow my headgear is not working right. It's broken. I need a replacement, so I'm waiting on this replacement. But I've just been like, if I don't use that regularly.
Yeah. So what kind do you have? Do you have the one with just the nose or the
Just-
mouse nose?
Well, I used on the regular the one with the nose, but
Right.
at the point I was sick and stuffed up, and I said, you might want to give me that mouth one for when I'm
Right.
sick and I can't breathe through my nose. So I have
Right,
the other
right.
one for backup,
Okay. Okay.
and I've tried
Okay.
it.
So that's
I end up chucking it through the night though. The one on the whole mask, I don't really like that.
yeah, because I just got the one with the nose and the mouth. I don't have the full mask. I don't want that because it goes on top of the head. I like the one on top of the head.
Me too.
So that to me sounds like could that be another connection?
Right.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because
Like-
did you get did you like get a report for your apnea test where you know there's 3 different types of apnea, and the one is that it's brain based, obstructive, which means it could be your tonsils or adenoids, or as we age, our throats kind of sink, gravity, pretty much.
Okay.
So
Oh,
our
yeah, I
throats
think
start to
that's the
sink.
one it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then there's one called mixed, where it's both brain and obstructive at the same time. Mine, they were able to identify as all 3 were happening.
holy crap, you're.
No.
Oh my God.
All three were happening. My little throat, I don't have tonsils anymore, but I don't know if they took my adenoids with that or not. So I think it's just age in my jiggly old neck and you're laying there.
Because the doctor had phoned me up after the test was done, and I was not expecting those results when he said, yeah, he says, by the way, Jolie, you have severe sleep apnea. He goes, you got obstructive in the throat there. And I think he said something about the brain. So
You
the
have a close
connection,
one. Yeah.
the connection right there is not making that connection. You know, the throat closes up and the brain doesn't realize, you know, and then next thing you know, it's like you're trying to gasp for air.
Right.
So that's why he said, you better get the CPAP. So I got the CPAP. So I've had it now since November.
Okay. So you're fresh
And
and new with it.
yeah, I'm very new with it.
I'm
And I'm
excited about it.
still test driving it. Like I'm still
Yeah.
getting adapted to it. But
Do you feel better
So-
though? Like more rested when you're using it? Like in the morning, fresher kind of, or
you know, because I ended up starting that medication at the same time, right?
Oh.
So I'm gonna like right now I'm on 75 milligrams
Mhm.
and I'm sleeping a lot deeper because I have the CPAP on, and I'm dreaming now because I hadn't been dreaming for years. And the reason why I wasn't dreaming was because I wasn't sleeping. So now I'm dreaming because I'm sleeping, because I'm able to actually,
my goodness.
yes,
That's what I
another
said.
connection.
Yes, because that's what I've been saying to my like up until FND. I was like, wow, I just don't have dreams. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened, but I don't have dreams anymore. Like
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, and I remember when I was
Yeah.
maybe when I had my for older kids, but then after
Yeah.
that, it seems like
They stopped.
I don't recall it. You know, I maybe remember one here or there, but then completely gone for years.
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And I'm like, and then when I ended up, they came back was probably a few months after FND, they came back as nightmares. Bad.
Oh, yeah. That's
Horrible.
not good.
And then I found out I had PTSD as well, though. So that was a symptom of PTSD is
Right.
recurring horrific nightmares.
Yes. 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 Exactly.
So then I was having those, but now I no longer have the nightmares. I did a couple of years of that medicine that helps with PTSD symptoms.
So to calm your mind down, to calm your brain down, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So like, did you ever take Xanax at all?
Oh, I've taken it in the past, but it really doesn't work for me. I don't know what
Okay.
it was, but it really didn't work for me. It does for my family that uses it, but
Okay.
not so long. The Klonopin acts the same way. The Klonopin
Okay.
is like a muscle relaxer slash anti-anxiety.
Okay.
So of course it's like then perfect for when I feel a seizure coming on because anxiety induced plus I'm having muscle spasms everywhere. So it's perfect to help reduce all of that at that time.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
that's what I take that for.
So your FND symptoms are what?
What it's easier to say what aren't they?
Okay. So what are they then?
Like
So your list is long.
horrifically. And I actually used to say, okay, well, I don't have drop attacks or drop foot.
Oh,
But I now have drop foot.
wow.
I don't have drop attacks yet. Knock on wood.
Okay.
I do get seizures, speech, dystonia. It's affected my bowels, my bladder, tremors out the wazoo, horrifically, uncomfortably terrible tremors. I cannot stand the tremors because tremors and seizures is the worst because I've lived with fibromyalgia and pain
Yes.
and chronic pain for years. And I
Yes.
feel like that just aggravates it worse whenever you're tensed up and your tremors are like muscles out of control. I've swallowed
Exactly.
visual I get visual. I had for like a year and a half, I had like a prism put into my glasses so I wouldn't have double vision, which helped. But then
Wow.
it did help. So then they didn't have to put the prism back in my next prescription. But now I get these weird, I don't even know how to describe it, like weird visual, um, like I don't know, like if I looked around on the solid floor, different weird spots, and then all of a sudden it's like your vision goes in and out, in and out, in and out. And it's like very creepy.
I used to get that when I was young.
Did you?
I, you know, when I would look at my hand
Mm-hmm.
and I would look at it and it would start to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And then it would start to feel fat, like really fat. Like it felt like I couldn't even move my hands because they were so fat, but they felt like fat. They weren't fat. They just felt like that. And my height or my weight was always, I was always underweight, always underweight.
Oh,
I was always 98 pounds, 97 pounds. And so I never told my parents about it. I never told anybody about it. Nobody. So what you just said now, I'm looking back, I'm thinking I've probably had this a lot longer than I thought. I thought I started getting this after my third child was born. But now I'm looking back at what you just said. I'm looking back, I'm thinking I probably have this a lot longer because
Oh,
of what
bless
you
your
just said.
heart. Oh my goodness.
So that to me is, another symptom of FND. And to me, it was like a normal thing because I never heard of anybody else talking about it. I thought, okay, well, that's just me. That's just who I am. I'm just nobody's ever talked about it, but I'm thinking, okay, well,
This is
that's just me.
no,
You
that's
know,
exactly why we need to talk about this stuff because it will probably help us identify more symptoms that not they haven't, attached under the FND label. But if we do this and we're having more people talk about it, they might say, oh,
Yep.
wow, it is FND related then because
A lot of
all these
connections
other
can be
people.
made. Yeah,
Exactly.
a
No,
lot of connections.
I also have bradycardia going on, which, you know, is it hereditary? Somewhat. My grandfather ended up having a pacemaker put in, but now
Okay.
my mom and my sister, they're like tachycardia. I'm bradycardia, but incredibly low heart rate.
Oh,
I
really, eh?
yeah, and it didn't occur until after I ended up getting sick with, the cannot talk of this, the cannot talk of virus thing. Um, slow down.
Oh my God.
So when I got sick with that, I thought, okay, maybe that's the long one that's happening, and I'm not still just haven't fully recovered from it. But
Wow.
I don't think that's the case because that's been so long ago. And my doctor
Okay.
said that my cardiologist said typically with that virus, you're going to see a increase in heart rate, not a decrease. So
Yeah, so I had that too. I had the C word. I had COVID. And ever since that, I've been taking my blood pressure and my blood pressure is high. It was never high. I always had very, 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 very low blood pressure.
me too.
Now it's starting to shoot up. And my doctor says, well, it's probably age. Well, that's discrimination. You can't say that. You
Right.
can't say it's because of my age. That's wrong. I felt attacked because I thought I may be 62 years old, but I don't feel 62 years old. I feel like I may be 30. And I know I don't look 30, but that's how I feel.
That's good.
And it's good
Yeah.
because then I can, do whatever I have to do until my body tells me, screw you.
Right.
That's it.
Knock it off.
Yeah. Stop trying to be so young because it's not gonna work.
Right.
But no, that's how things are happening with me. And I just think to myself, I think, okay, well, the UK has all of these problems. It's in Canada, it's in United States. Is there a lot of people in United States that you're discovering that have this?
Through the roof. Horrible. astronomical.
No
Mad,
kidding.
mad quantities. But have I been able to find and localized areas? I'm having a struggle with that because I hear about them I'm actually in Florida. I hear about
Okay.
them throughout my state, but have I found them in my specific area? No. The only way I know that they do exist in my area is because through my psychiatrist, I've told them, you know what? Here's been my goal since since I could start speaking again and walking.
Okay.
Once I got through past the first year or two
Right.
and started to be able to manage and accept this.
Right.
I told my psychiatrist my goal was I'm not stopping, and I'm going to create nonprofit agency. I'm going to create
Mhm.
peer support. I'm going to do whatever. I said, if you can, because I know of HIPAA violation, give my phone number out to your clients if they are interested in
Yeah.
doing peer support groups, and I will do whatever it takes to make that happen.
Right.
And
Right.
so many of I know, I mean, this is going to work great because a lot of us, it's different for me. It is, I can't drive where I'm located. They don't take your license, but the law is, you have to be seizure free for 6 months.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
not required that a doctor reports you. But I don't drive.
My doctor took my license away when this happened, because like I said, I've had this for over 38 years.
Yes.
And it came in stages. Every 10 years I would have a relapse. And so now I had the relapse 10 years ago.
Oh,
And I had to quit my job. I was working 6,800 feet underground. And I worked there for 6 years. I was working in Snow Lab. It was a clean laboratory that I work in. They're looking for neutrinos and stuff like that. So I worked there for 6 years, and then I ended up having the episode come back. And I'm like, no, this can't happen. And so my doctor ended up taking my license away from me just because of how bad I was, because my left side went in that word thing.
yeah.
Paralyzed. So
Yeah.
I paralyzed on my left side, right? So I couldn't walk or couldn't drive or couldn't do anything. So my doctor said, okay, well, your license has to go. We can't have you.
Yeah, I know. It depends on what state in the United States, what their state law is for it and what they've created. It's not a federal law, which it should be, because people can freely drive all over into state to state to state, but it's not required in our state for a doctor to report it to the license bureau. But I'm one of those kind of people that think, if somebody else had seizures knowingly and drove and hit my children and killed them or something, I don't want to be I don't want to be that person.
No, I agree.
I can only imagine. So I just stopped on my own.
Well, good for you. Good for you. That's the, and that's the thing, is that you take accountability for yourself, right? You know what you can do, and you know how you can do it, and when you can do it.
Right.
So, and that's a big issue too, is to be able to recognize what your body is capable of and what your mind is capable to do for that day.
Well, right.
Not for a week, for that day.
For that day is for sure.
Yeah. And there's no sitting there going, well, I'm going to plan this for a week. I can't plan my days. I can't plan my weeks.
No.
There's no planning. My husband will say, what are you doing today? Well, I don't know. We'll see what I can do.
That's why I say doing these Zooms right now with all this, outside stuff that I know how are coming up and it's planned. I'm like going, I try to plan, but I also, I guess I have my background in teaching special education helped me be able to do both, be flexible and be kind of scheduled, because I taught kids with emotional behavior disorders that would all of a sudden poof explode and flip desks and do this and that and this and that. So you got to be like that at this for the moment to switch gears. Yeah. So I'm capable of doing that just per my background, but at the same time, it's like, okay, so yeah, planning my daughter's wedding, and not only am I the mother of the bride, but I'm also the heir officiant.
Oh, geez. Wow.
So what if,
yikes.
So we had to plan if and when when that comes, what if I can't talk? So we have a backup. I wrote the speech. So this is kind of the things I think of and how I do it. But I have a
So
backup
you
person.
can plan ahead, and when you plan ahead, you kind of have your backups when you're planning ahead.
Correct. And I also have to
Wow.
tell myself, don't be frustrated if whatever you're planning can't occur, period, because
Right.
I would have a tendency to beat myself up and be very frustrated and
And
discouraged.
it's out of your control.
I know, exactly. So
It's
I have to tell myself it's okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It
You
is.
know,
It
there's a
is.
reason for it.
That's you being normal.
Right.
That's your normal.
Right.
And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's
Exactly.
nothing wrong with that. And to me, FND is like a big word called acceptance.
Oh, 100%. That's one of my biggest things I scream out to others is, oh my gosh, I'm almost talking to a wall. If you cannot accept this, you will not show improvements.
That's right.
I only
right.
say this from my own experience. I did
Yeah.
not want to accept it in the beginning. I was told, given false hope from the doctors who
Yeah.
also, my parents also heard them say, it's like, oh, you take cognitive behavior therapy and you'll be better in a year. So now then my parents got really, 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 really harder on me.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on. And it
Yeah.
made things even so
Yeah.
much more explosive and worse. And it was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, this can't be. And then,
No.
you know, over time, it was just like, okay, put your mind in a different way, April. Just start listening to
Yeah.
everything around, be really, really in tune to the groups and stuff. Because I'm also part of the FND Hope Foundation. I'm an admin there.
Oh, okay. Oh, you are okay. Good.
Yes, and
Okay,
I
'cause
really
I'm,
enjoyed it.
Okay, I'm on that too. But
Okay.
yeah, you're right. When you have pressure come at you like that, you can't have that because
Yes.
nobody can control you. You control you. That's your body, your mind. Nobody
That's
knows
where I
what's going
was,
on in your
that's
mind.
where it was like a massive head
Yeah,
cutting
yeah,
situation. But
yeah.
then
That's
it's just to the point where it was like, okay, acceptance is where I'm at. And I
yeah.
did reach out. There's a place in Colorado that specializes with FND, and I think it's for that Dr. Moyne. I don't know how to say her name, Mointer, but somebody posted. I think it's FND Courage.
Okay.
See in the group.
Okay.
Someone posted about her, and I've heard lots of things about her. So I was calling all over in the U.S. to specialty clinics that specialize, Mayo Clinic, Mass Gen, all
Mhm.
these places.
Okay.
A lot of them wouldn't accept me. Colorado, they were talking to me about it, and their intake specialist, what actually got back with me after I'd given my long spiel or whatever. She got back with
Hmm.
me because it was basically a message. I thought I was talking to the right person, but it ended up becoming a message. And she got back
No.
with me and told me, asked me like goals, like what was I seeking to do, and and then you know, I said, well, to be honest with you, because at this stage, then I've already into acceptance. I said,
Right.
to be honest with you, I'm already at the phase of acceptance. If
Right.
there's something that miraculously comes along, it's not like I got acceptance doesn't mean I got rid of hope. If
No.
there's
No.
something that miraculously comes along, great.
Right.
I'll
Yeah.
partake and do what I can, you know,
Right.
financially if I can. But as far as this, I'm accepting of this disorder. I can do so much more now and realize what it is. Maybe my life wasn't, maybe I thought my life was over and it's completely changed now, and it's not how I wanted it to be, but I'm a stronger believer. I'm a Christian. So I'm a stronger
Okay.
believer now that
Yeah.
God has geared me to where he wants to be and is kind of unveiling this to me.
That's right.
That I created your path. I helped design your path, even though you
That's
have
right.
choices of free will. You now are
This is the
designed.
path you're taking now.
Yeah, because I
I
needed to
switched
play.
you. There was a fork in the road,
Yeah,
and you wanted to go this way,
yeah,
but I put you this way.
yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
molded
totally,
me
I
to, and he
totally agree.
molded me to prepare me for that fork.
Yeah,
Like it was,
yeah,
it's amazing. So and I said, here are the problems though, where I'm at in my acceptance point. I cannot continue living in the being accepting this on me when others around me haven't and are
Yeah,
very, 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 what's the word? Wishing that I get better, so, or more push, 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 push.
yeah,
And then it just becomes a more stressful environment for me to
stress,
be in,
exactly.
you know, and I
Yeah, yeah.
cannot do that. So,
You can't have the people around you pushing you to get you better and to do the things that
right,
you're told to do, because if you can't do them, you can't do them. And you should, and they shouldn't feel like you're a failure, because that puts more pressure on you. This is, have you ever been to, so obviously you've done physical fit therapy.
oh yes, I've had physical, well, I mean, I've done physical therapy enough in the past before FND that when it came to FND, it was like, okay, I need you to guide. And my initial experience with physical therapy, they were trying to do it, it was specialist with strokes. And
Okay,
everything they
yeah,
tried to do just worsened. And they're like,
yeah,
oh dear. So, but I luckily had a phenomenal therapist where she was like, this isn't working and I'm not going to keep pushing. What I'm
Yep.
going to do is teach you safety skills, how to get around from point A to point B. And then because of the tremor, she kind of helped release some of the trigger points by massage, hands-on massage kind of. So she
okay,
stopped all of her basic type of therapy where she was trained in and said,
okay,
okay, this isn't working. Let's try a different
okay.
approach. She was
Wow,
one of the best physical therapists I've had because of that.
wow,
Other
that's
ones look at
crazy.
you like, uh,
What's wrong with you? Why can't you do this?
and this other
Yeah,
one, this lady, the original one, she specialized in strokes. I had one that was specific to FND, and that person was mean to me, telling me,
wow.
stop your crying. Why are you crying? Why are you doing that? Da, da, da. If you're trained in FND, you should know not to say those things.
Exactly. Like, no kidding. And she was trained to work with people with FND.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Yeah.
that trainer should be looked at. Yeah, nobody, you know what? There is nobody trained to know how to handle somebody with FND.
No.
Because when I went to the psychologist, I asked them, I said, so do you guys hear about FND? Oh yeah, we're good at it. We know exactly how to work it.
Right.
I ended up coaching them, telling them how things are going,
had Dr. O.
you know? Like it was ridiculous. And I thought to myself, wait a second here. Maybe you should give me your money now because I just fixed you. And I'm still the same as when I walked in.
Right. You paid me.
Yeah, yeah.
Turn this back around.
Yeah. So like really, and to me, I'm thinking, you lied to me and you're supposed to be a professional,
Right.
but you lied to me to my face.
Right.
Like, come on, give me a break.
Your cure.
Yeah.
For FND.
So
Tell everybody in the world there's the cure.
yeah, that's my husband.
Hi, husband.
April says hi. He's in Florida.
My wife is going to show you the cure for FND right
Oh,
now.
bless her heart. This is great.
So yeah. So I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but this is the cure right here.
Well, you know what? I was going to bring that up.
That's my cure. When I have when my left side goes on me,
Mhm.
I take a puff of this,
Mhm.
and within what, nanoseconds,
15 seconds.
Right.
I can walk. I'm walking normally.
You know what? The reason it's banned in some groups is because they're it's international. And when it's international, not every single it's not banned, it's banned from discussing because it's not legal in every place. So that's why I
Yeah.
kind of developed my own group, because I thought, well, okay, wait a minute. Some people it works great for, and I don't want them to be discouraged from not being able to talk about what works good for. And so that's why I created mine. We're free to talk about whether
Anything.
yeah, right. As long as it's, appropriate, not hurting others and that kind of stuff. But
Exactly.
damning.
Yeah, respectfully.
Exactly.
Respectfully.
Yeah. So I did, Florida, we have, the medicinal,
Yeah.
law,
Right.
and I tried it for a year.
Okay.
Hmm. I mean, with the pen, and when the drummers came on,
Yeah.
I was able, it kind of was a little helpful, but the side effect in my the extreme tiredness and
Yeah,
the what was the other one? My paranoia.
yes, yes,
I couldn't live with that. So I just said,
okay.
okay, I attempted. You know, I'm not, I have no problem with attempting something that I feel like that it's
If
within
it might help,
reason,
yeah,
within reason. You know what I mean? I don't
yeah,
know about for me to say I'm not comfortable with my religion and whatnot with like microdosing or hypnotic stuff. That's not for me, but I'm not here to
right,
say it. You shouldn't do it. If it
right,
works for you, it works
exactly.
for you, kind of thing. So be
To
it.
each his own, to each his own,
Exactly. Exactly.
right,
And I did
right.
attempt that. And I did see, yeah, okay, it does. They're completely gone. No more tremors. I'm able to walk and I can talk. But do I like that long term all day long? I gotta go to bed
If, exactly,
and I'm a
yeah,
single parent to
yeah.
a 10-year-old. I had to weigh my options. So
You did, yeah, you did. Like, I mean, under the circumstances, you do what you have to do, what's best for you and your family. I totally, totally understand that.
exactly.
And the thing is that, you have to work around what you're going through at that time of the day, right?
Exactly.
And whatever is happening during that time of the day. That's why I
Mhm.
say I can't plan anything during the day, 'cause I don't know what the hell's gonna happen.
You're right. Exactly.
All hell could break loose on my body, and next thing you know, I'm lying on the floor doing convulsions. I
Right.
don't know if that's gonna happen today. I can't plan that shit,
Right.
right?
Right.
So
Do you go out? Do you go out and do shopping, or does your husband do it all for you?
my husband does it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Forget.
sometimes I'll go with him.
Do you ever get cabin fever where you're like, oh, I gotta get out of here? Yeah.
No, no, I'm my, I love being at home. I'm a homebody. I love
I
staying in my pajamas all day long. My husband thinks I shouldn't do that, but this is how I feel comfortable, and I don't have to excuse this. I don't have to wear a bra.
no, no, that okay. So I am the same way. But if it goes on for 2 weeks or so and I've been stuck there, it's like, okay, I got to get out for, I
Yeah.
can't, there's at a point I'm like, but then there's times where like someone wants to say, oh, you want to go? No, I really don't want to put a bra on today. No.
Exactly.
No, I really like my pajamas too much. No, you go ahead. Here's my card. Go get something for me.
Exactly.
So yeah, I hear what you're saying because it was like so comfortable. Even I love homeschooling too because well, sometimes we'll do school on jammies. Every day.
Yeah. Like,
Great.
yeah, just get up, brush your teeth, wash your face, get your pajamas on, keep your pajamas on, whatever, and okay, school starts. Done deal.
All right.
You know,
Exactly.
and there's less laundry.
I noticed that too. It's great. And then
Well,
sometimes my sisters say, you're gross. And I'm like, why? I really didn't do much today. So why do I need to get up, get dressed, throw those over there in the laundry, or even a day or two? I can wear my clothes for a day or two. I'm not out there jumping jacks and
exactly.
marathons, and I'm not stinking up.
Exactly. I'll put on deodorant. I'll have I'll wash my body with a face cloth or whatever, throw the face cloth in the laundry, whatever, but at least I'm clean,
Right.
but I'm comfortably clean.
Right.
I don't have anything tight on. Everything's loose, and I just want to stay loose. I just want to feel relaxed. And if I have to, like I started, I didn't finish high school. So I went back to school,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to get over my grade 9, 10, but I ended up having COVID. And when I hit COVID, it wiped out my memory for all the work that I've done.
Oh,
So I was preparing to take my test for the grade 9, 10. I couldn't remember what I had done, but yet I had about 10 little books that I was writing in with my math and everything like that. And I had to go through all that again just to be able
oh,
to try to take the test. I'm still in the process of taking that test.
oh.
And the
Wait, did
teacher
you
is
have to
looking at me.
schedule it?
Pardon?
Do you have to schedule it, or is it like an online thing, or how's that work?
No, I could just go to school anytime I want
Oh,
and
okay.
just go there for a couple of hours and then just you know, she'll help me with the questions and all that. And if I don't feel like going to school, I don't feel like going to school. You know, like it's, you know, I'm thinking to myself, I thought, okay, so I have FND and then I had COVID, and COVID wiped out my memory, like completely wiped everything out. And, you know, my teacher understood that. She goes, I'll help you with your test. I'll help you. I'm not going to give the answers, but I'm going to help you.
Right.
And that's what she's doing.
That's
So,
great.
yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, I thought, okay, well, at least I'm doing something to forward myself to actually try to get my brain back into remembering what I was doing, you know. But then I end up having an episode. And that, you know, when you have your
Probably
episode, you're
because-
tired.
It's probably because those neurons are so fired in working hard to retrieve what we're aiming to retrieve.
Yeah.
That in itself, you know, because there's different types of exhaustion and fatigue, you know, physical, mental, and I know
Yeah.
that even mental can cause physical fatigue as well. So
Yes.
that makes total
Yes.
sense that you would feel so because
Exhausted.
Mhm.
Yeah.
do you
Just
find,
exhausted.
do you find that sometimes after chatting, or how often you chat with someone like I'm doing with you right now, that afterwards you're feeling like this?
Oh yeah, I'm going for a nap.
Same here. Because after I get off these Zooms, it's like, okay, oh, I'm sorry, Maya, you're gonna have to go read something, do something on your own because mommy needs sleep. You guys wearing me out. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
It's true. It's true. That's, yeah. Like, I mean, that's just normal, right?
Right,
That's a normal FND symptom as far as I'm concerned.
for sure.
So you know, so we're relating. We understand what is going on with our brains and our bodies, and it's telling us that,
For sure.
you know, you can only do so much for so long and you're done,
Right.
you know. And then it's like you have to, your battery is drained
What?
and you have to recharge your battery.
Oh,
Your
yeah,
battery is drained and you have to recharge it. And
exactly.
if you don't recharge it, your body is going to tell you, now you better recharge it because this is what's going to happen.
Yeah,
And that's what happens.
I agree
know?
100%. And I view it the same way. It's 100%. It's just like you know, food is for us for energy and gas for cars.
It's
Thinking.
funny you say that because that's what I tell my kids when I was raising my kids. You need this food because it's like your car. If you don't have any gas in the tank, you're not going anywhere.
Precisely.
So eat the food,
Right.
you know? And I tell my grandkids that too. This is your car, put gas in your car
Mhm.
in order for you to actually make it through the day, you know, and you got to keep filling yourself up, you know, with the right food, mind you, not the bad gas, get the good gas.
Right. I was
But yeah.
actually, my mind just like poof, speaking of grandkids and kids and everything. I do have a granddaughter, but she lives, my son, he lives up north Indiana, so closer. He's got the blech weather like you all get.
He's got this weather, the winter weather.
Right, not me. I can't do that stuff. But
Well, I want to come down there to be able to not do
Alright.
this stuff.
all right. That'd be great to have you come on down. Let me get situated because right now I'm in this tiny RV next to my sister's house. And once I get situated, you're welcome to come anytime.
Okay, great. Tired of this winter weather.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
-10 here.
I keep seeing pictures of all the snow and everything. I'm like, ugh. Someone's like, oh, that's so pretty. I'm like, yeah, in pictures. Sure. Yeah, it's very pretty. In pictures.
Yeah, if you can enjoy it, like to go skiing and sliding, sure, great. But when you can't do it, it's like, oh, gross. Like, I don't want to do this anymore.
You know,
know,
I've always had a problem with the cold. I always used to, like I said, oh my gosh, this reminds me of what I used to tell I'm the oldest, and then I have two other younger sisters. And then
Okay.
the second one and I used to tell our youngest sister that she was found in a trash can. Torment her. And then lately I'm like, no, let's take this back. I think I'm the one found in the trash can because I am like nobody else in this family. You guys picked me up off the street and I don't belong in this. I just don't fit. Kind of.
So
deal.
you're the abnormal one, the other
Yes,
two are those
highly
normal.
abnormal. Right. And like, well, also this goes into genetics too, because you said you're from Finland. So I remember my sister in-law was telling me years ago that genetics can, if you take a look at doing one of those DNA tests
Yes,
and
yes,
see where you're actually from, heritage wise.
right.
And she said that this happened with her husband, who they went over to Europe. I think it was Scotland, Poland, I don't know, wherever, somewhere in those areas where, and he had DNA that's from like those areas. And he says, I get this sense of belonging, like I'm at home, like I'm peace, like you're just feel like you're at home. And apparently that's true with DNA connections. So, with America and Canada, this Western world as a melting pot from all different
Yeah.
areas that we
Well, yeah,
supposedly, but this
it's
doesn't
very
work for me.
versatile.
But it doesn't work for me. I'm broke. I'm supposedly, majority of my family, both sides of my family, are from Switzerland. No offense, Swiss, no offense. Those in
Okay.
Switzerland, just no offense to them, because I love your chocolate and I love your watches and everything, but I don't like snow. I hate cold weather. I cannot picture cold mountains. I think I'm from the equator. So I think
You're really from Brazil.
right. I think I'm broke. And when I did move here from Indiana, because I was born in Indiana, when I moved here in Florida, well, the majority of our population, melting pot wise, is of Hispanic descent. And when I first moved here, everybody's speaking Spanish to me. And I'm like, and of course, living in the north in Indiana and close to Canada, I took French instead. And
Oh,
he
yes,
come up to me
yes.
blah, 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 in the Spanish, and I'm going, oh, yeah.
You should have said,
No.
bonjour.
Right? I should have. But I was like, oh no, I don't speak Spanish. But a lot of people used to say, you're not from Puerto Rico? And I'm like, what? Okay, typically my hair is mostly blonde, but recently I just dyed the roots. I'm one of those kind of people that have a it's always, even before I started highlighting my hair, it's always grown in lighter phases. But
Okay.
my daughter had her bridal shower a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the gray is all. I don't have time for the highlighting, so I did my own color just to match the roots, all of it. And in a week or two, I'm going to go get the highlights put back in. So
Okay.
I think people from Puerto Rico have a lot of dark eyes with blondish hair.
Yes.
That's my
yes.
typical look. So they thought I
Okay.
was Puerto Rican, and of course, I'm like,
No. Well, next time they do that, go, bonjour.
Oh, sure. Oui. Well, here's my famous saying. As a teacher in class, I loved doing this to my students because I taught little kindergarten through 5th grade.
Okay.
Excuse me. And I would always say, fermez la bouche maintenant, s'il vous plaît. And they look at me with their big eyes. What are you saying? I go, shut your mouth now, please. That was one of my favorite all the
And the
time.
thing is, they shut up right away, though, right? Even
Well,
though they
yeah,
don't
I did,
understand
because
what
they're
you're
going,
saying. What? That's funny. I love it. Perfect.
yeah.
See, you're a teacher,
So
and your world was shut down,
it was.
but you came out of the hole and you rose above it, and you're a much better person than you were probably before. That's what I think, because of the fact that the situation you're in, and you've learned more patience and more acceptance.
Oh, exactly.
And life is
love
going to
and
do
compassion as
whatever
well.
it's going to do. Yeah. Oh, yes. A lot of compassion. I totally agree. And it's almost like you said, like, God has a path for you, and there was a fork in the road, and you were going to take that one, but he said, no, you're going this way.
Right.
You need to be able to do it this way because you're such a strong person, and you're going to realize.
Every time I hear that, I always want to go.
But really, if you think about it,
I don't know how it's just the
you're
last thing
here.
I think of myself, but though just
look back at what you've been through. Think of how far you came from, when did you first start having your episodes?
Actually, this month, it's 5 years ago this month. The
Okay, so
21st.
think about 5 years ago. Think about what happened 5 years ago.
Ah,
Think about
yeah.
what you went through for 5 years. Think about the struggles you went through. Think about how many times you had to start over again.
Right.
Okay, can a weak person do that?
You're right. Well,
Hey?
that just instantaneously brought back a memory when I was diagnosed. And I wish I could keep her as one of my doctors because she was phenomenal. But she's over on like several hours away. And that was where I got my diagnosis, but it's not where I get treatment.
Okay,
She was a psychiatrist that they brought into the neuro floor of the hospital that I was at
okay,
when I was getting my diagnosis. And she said, which was very valuable and interesting. She said, out of all of my patients of various different types of, issues and whatnot that they all have,
right.
FND people or people with FND
Mhm.
seem to be some of the most brilliant people she's ever encountered. Higher
Wow.
IQs,
Wow.
very, very in tune to detail, very, very just think and process so much. It's so frequent. So you don't need an education. This one thing I love now that I'm as a parent, I try in the beginning when I was younger and I was raising my kids and being a teacher, I was like, you're going to college, you're going to college, you're going to college.
Right, right,
Neither one of my older kids did.
right.
And very successful and very smart. Yeah, sorry, my sidetracked. My daughter was asking.
Hey, as
to
long as
eat
everything's
something.
okay. As
Yeah,
long as everything's okay.
she was asking to eat something, and I said, "Yeah." She knows to be when mommy's on here.
Okay.
So yeah, I was. So I don't push the education other than what legally has to be done. That's why I homeschool. I don't like what's being taught in the school systems. I'm able to kind of guide and teach accordingly what I want my daughter to be taught.
Okay.
And my other daughter, she's a groomer. She grooms animals and she's a very successful one, doing a phenomenal job. She's got, I don't even know. She's been doing it for about 5.5 years. And after the
Wow.
wedding, what she's doing, with the wedding, her theme, of course, she's an animal freak and nut. All of her dogs are in the wedding. She's got 5 dogs. So mostly little wiener dogs, which we have a couple now. But
Oh my gosh.
yeah. What she wants to do is her and her husband want to start a business. He's in school for business or something. But he's also a very hard worker and he does some like power washing roofs and stuff right now. But
Oh
they're
wow.
going to start their own mobile grooming business.
Oh wow.
So
Geez, that's excellent.
yeah. And I said, because the only thing she did was like a 9-week hands-on, what do you want to call it? Like a tech type. It wasn't even really a school. It's more like a hands-on.
Like a course, like a course.
Yeah, you go hands-on and you just, following someone else and then you go behind and do it yourself. And then you
Okay.
pick up techniques. And then in the state of Florida, I don't think you have to have even a certificate or licensed or anything like that as a groomer. So
Really?
with that being said, yeah, but she's brilliant too, because she will tell you, she'll go through the list of stuff. Have your dog been to the vet recently? Have you had recent shots? Has anything occurred lately? Blah, 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 blah. And they'll give it once over, look at the dog. I'm sorry, I attempted to shave off or get rid of the mats, but it's so severe. I strongly recommend taking it to the vet because we can hurt their skin. And so she is smart enough to say where she's not capable of doing it for the dogs because she's like I am. You look at who you're working with and what's
For the health of the dog.
right,
Right.
what's best for them.
Okay. Wow.
so-
That's
right.
pretty good.
Yeah,
That's very
and so
good.
my youngest wants to follow her in her footsteps, and
That's
she-
fantastic.
and she can train her. And I said, you don't need to go to college. You can get your basic high school diploma and be done with it, and go work with your sister as a family business. And
So it's just like what are those kids that are born with that, oh, come on, what's that, where the kids are born with that deformity, but they turn out to be really, really highly intelligent.
Autism.
Pardon?
Autism.
Thank you. Yes, autism.
Right.
So autism is, you know, I'm not a doctor or anything, but I've seen enough kids and I've seen how they look and how they act and stuff like that. And I believe with my whole heart that they are probably the most highly intelligent people on the face of this earth. They just can't process a slow part of life. You know what I mean? Like they're years ahead.
It's their social
they-
communication. It's more, yes, they're into what's going on socially and what's going on in the world, but yet
They can't process
keep
it.
they keep it more within themselves and don't know how to
Yeah,
get it out.
exactly. So like when I see kids in that predicament, I see adults in that predicament, I think, wow, like, you know, you people are very highly intelligent and it would be nice to tap into your mind just to see
But
what's
why
actually
wouldn't it?
going
And
on.
they're probably thinking, yes, it would be nice you tap in my mind. That way I don't have to do it. You know, it's easier for you just to get in there because
That's right.
I know that because I worked with a lot of kiddos with this.
Really, eh?
Yes,
So
I did.
you've seen it on hand, you've seen it
Oh,
firsthand,
yeah.
you can understand it.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I mean, they're still trying to discover the brain, how the brain works, right?
Mhm.
I mean, we're talking like neurologists.
Right.
Neurologists haven't even touched like what, 10% of the brain yet? You know, so there's still that big 90% that's left.
I know.
And
Crazy.
it's crazy. And the thing is that they know what parts are to work with the senses and all that, the thinking and all that, but there's much more in there that we haven't discovered. And it's been how long? So, and now they're coming up with AI, artificial intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear about Elon Musk, what he was doing with AI?
With the pigs and the thing where he was testing with the pigs, but it was for people that were paralyzed, I believe.
I don't know what it's called, but where he puts the sensor in the mind, in the brain, and it
Yeah.
helps people to learn how to walk again that couldn't
Yeah, where
walk.
they were paralyzed. And they,
Yes.
yes, it was
Yes,
like,
yes.
and the first thing I thought of, I don't know if you remember him, Christopher Reeves.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Um, so it would have been beneficial. However, what I also noticed with Elon Musk AI is got a tad bit of reservations on it because of powers that be, I guess. I don't know what I'm looking for, but what word I'm looking for, but the controls that can be put, it's something that needs to be very treaded on very lightly.
I agree.
With
I agree.
massive research behind and know what you're getting involved in before you go
Right.
allow some sort of, because what can they do? You know,
Mhm.
once they're putting the stuff in you, what can they possibly do with that? They start taking over our bodies and could turn us into robotic style. Could they start taking over our minds and thoughts? Could they still, you know, there's so much to play with technology that, and it's so ever rapidly changing.
The thing is that I think that they have it implanted, like Elon Musk has somebody that's already got something in their brain now that he came up with, right?
I don't know if it's a person, is it?
Help this guy to walk. This guy was paralyzed.
Mhm.
His legs were paralyzed. He couldn't walk. I'm not sure the details, all that, but now he can walk because of what's in his brain, because of what Elon Musk came up with.
Now,
now
was he the one that actually had it done, or did someone take that idea from it and do it? Because I know when he did it, the experiment with the pigs, something went awry. And that's when he started having reservations on. So is it really, was it the person, did he really do it? Or did someone?
I thought Elon Musk was funding somebody to do it.
I'll have to
So
look into
he,
that, because I do
wanted-
know that he was the one that initiated that whole study and the reason for it like that, but
Yeah.
I just,
he's probably funding it.
okay,
He's obviously funding it. He's Elon Musk.
right. Yeah. But
Yeah.
incredibly, I don't know what it would be interesting to know. It's knowing what we know of people on the autism spectrum all the way to Asperger's, and he has that. Like, how did he get
Elon Musk has
so-
Asperger's disease.
You did not know
Are
that?
you serious?
That's serious.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, you have to look into him. That's why he's so brilliant.
Oh my God. And I have a girlfriend.
You're the one who brought up this, and then you brought up Elon Musk, and so I was assuming, which I shouldn't assume, but was assuming that that's why you brought up Elon Musk, because we just talking about those on the spectrum and how brilliant they are, and how, yes, he's on the spectrum. Yes,
I didn't know that.
yeah, but I'd like to know. What I'd like to really know is how did he how was he? What worked for him to get him to be a social communicator? Because he makes speeches, all sorts of, you know what I mean?
Yes, I know. You know what? It would be nice to get him to fund FND.
Hey, Elon. Hi. Are you watching? We have tons of us on here. It's not just her and I right now, but stay tuned. We're going to keep going with this. So keep watching. And we're going to, if you want us to, we'll also help promote you.
You're more than welcome to come on.
Right. You gonna join us?
I'm on board with that.
Yeah, it would be wonderful.
Okay, so I'm tired.
Me too.
Sure
Oh
you
my, I
are
was getting ready to say, let's come to a wrap here because I'm about feeling drugged.
It was very great talking to you, April, and I'm so grateful for this.
Yeah, me
You
too.
know,
Well, stay tuned.
know.
'Cause like I said, I'm going to do spontaneous quick posts and whatnot. And then once things are kind of settling and simmering down for me, I'll create a schedule. I'm looking into possibly 3 days a week so that I could do like a morning, Eastern Standard Time morning, evening, and maybe a late at night for those that are in Australia. Other
Okay,
parts of the world can also jump. I want to be able to make this world friendly.
right.
So,
Okay,
with all the different time zones, even if, sometimes we can't sleep here.
right.
So then, hey, let's jump on. Well, I got friends in Australia right now. Hey, good day, mate. I'd like to with you.
That would be fantastic. I'd love that.
Right. That's what
I love that because I'm sometimes up till about 12 or something like that because I watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and all that, right?
Yes.
I'm a fan of all those, and so sometimes I'm up really late, so I'll search around, I'll see what's going on.
All right. Yeah. So if I can, right now, currently, that's how it's going to be until we'll get through March, the middle of March, and hopefully I can be like, okay, here's our schedule. This is how it's going to work. But stay tuned on the Facebook for random
Okay,
posting.
I'm definitely gonna be there. It was so great talking to you, my dear,
Me too.
and enjoy your day,
Thank you. You
and
too.
take care of yourself
Thank
and
you.
your kids and your dogs.
There's loads of them. My sister has 3. I have 3. So we got 6. 4 of them
Oh
weird.
my good God.
Oh.
Jeez. I mean, I got one cat and that's enough.
I go to my daughter's. There's like, I helped her with the litter. So at the time we had 12 dogs in the house. It was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Precisely. But
And so you can actually call yourself insane now.
yes, bingo.
All right. Take care, my dear. We'll talk soon.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. So that was a lovely recording. I'm going to wrap it up here, and as she's getting off, we're going to say goodbye to you all. Thank you for tuning in, for anybody that tuned in and watching our video and our little chat. It was so nice to be able to talk with someone that can relate and have some laughter and understanding with each other. And look forward to many more of these, because that's the whole purpose, is kind of guess, what is it, like a reality show support group or peers, so that our vulnerability is going to be exposed to the world for education and for support for each other. So I hope you like what you saw. I know it was a long show, but it was great. I got to chit chatting and I really enjoyed her company. So talk to you guys all later. Love y'all. Bye.